Creative team of Robot Chicken!
We just have a lot of cool things we want to talk to you about, and then
like anime.
That is writer actor Kevin Shinnick. Let me introduce you guys to the panel. On the very end there is director editor Chris McKay. Started with Robot Chicken in the first season as an editor, and then began directing the show for us. He directed 2 seasons of Moral Oral, and he directed the whole 4th season of Robot Chicken, and then he also is directing our new show, Titan Maximum. That's Chris McKay. Mr. Kevin Shinnick is sitting right next to him. Kevin. He's an actor and a writer on the show. He wrote the homonym sketch. If you guys know the homonym sketch. Oh, he's an anime guy.
Wait, also 1776. That was a something good out there.
I guess I don't know the audience as well as I thought I did. This is co-head writer Tom Root. This is creative director, writer Michael Solo. And this is also founding father, co-head writer Douglas Goldstein.
Oh, Pikachu!
Chris, there's another microphone down there so we can all have our own. Except for Mike, it's musical mics. So what should we talk about, guys?
Yeah, we do this question.
No, it sucks!
I was told
Achieve the impossible!
we really shouldn't turn it over to the crowd. It becomes anarchy.
Do they even need us here? I don't know.
I was told that last year by all these people, Anime Expo was a place with endless joy and we're so happy to be here. It's true. We'll say thanks for the end of the panel. Hey, so I do want to tell you guys about something really cool that we were trying to put together.
Well, the rest of season 4, if I'm not mistaken, begins July 28th? 27th, thank you.
It's so nice. It's so nice when Wikipedia and our fans know more about the show than we do.
He's TiVoing it for all of you. So
Did you make that chicken? Nice. That's awesome. There's dueling scientists.
Dueling scientists.
What do you want to talk about? Should we talk about Titan? Yeah. So, here's something really cool. We all grew up loving like Voltron and all the traditional, Japanese 5-into-1 super robot fighting forces. We're all big fans of those, right? So I would like to. Tom, do you want to tell people about what Titan is?
Titan Maximum is our...
Wait, get closer to the mic.
Titan Maximum is our version of those giant robot shows from the 70s and 80s and even into the 90s that we all love. We took 5, young knuckleheads and gave them their own robot, and now we're going to watch them fly around and stop evil.
But in the archetypes of the traditional Japanese 5-in-1 super robot fighting forces, it is you know, a princess, and an animal, and an overweight dude, and a roguish guy who can't really listen to authority, and that it's those characters if they were real people. So, you know, the TMZs of the galaxies are very interested in Sasha's comings and goings. This is our show. Why don't I just tell you that Titan Maximum's catchphrase when all else fails? Are there like a lot of kids in the audience?
You're screaming baby. How are they?
Titan Maximum's catchphrase when all else fails is time to punch the fuck out of it.
So, it airs in September. I hope you'll watch.
All right, well, we got the bus tour and Titan. So should we just get straight to questions, or?
Yeah, why not?
All right, well, here's probably the best thing to do. You guys know there's mics, and I see you already know the system, so. All right. Careful, guys, the SWAT team is already moving in. Keep that line orderly. All right, what's your question?
Yeah, I'm just wondering how you guys ended up like.
Wait, back off a little bit, baby. Hold on. I didn't read it like that. I mean, he was like ripping it like this.
I'm just wondering how you guys ended up like writing the most random skits for your show.
Doug, do you want to talk about being one of the head writers? Do you want to talk about the writing process?
Well, we are like you in that we love this material, we see it every day, and we notice every little thing that's wrong with it. We're like, why is that guy always turning blue and his other friend's always turning pink? And then, so then we just think of the dumbest thing and we pitch it as a sketch, and it's really no genius to it. We're just a bunch of idiots.
We just happen to make a show. And, I mean, with the internet, so can you. But in all reality, I mean, the process is we write for 20 weeks at a time per season, broken up into 5-week blocks, and in those 5 weeks we'll rotate out some new writers and keep our core group, and then we will generate enough material for 5 scripts. And then in the last 2 weeks of the process, we'll organize all those sketch ideas based on timing and similarity to others into whole episodes.
But seriously, it's whatever we can think of in that day. Like one day we were sitting there and someone put Girl Scout cookies on the desk, and we had like 80 sketches about Girl Scout cookies. One of them did make it in, so you see, you know that's why it came about.
We always start out with really grand plans, like at the beginning of the writing cycle about all the properties we want to hit and things that are going on in pop culture, right? And new TV shows and movies.
We've got a big board with everything we could possibly think. It looks like it looks like Beautiful Mind or a fucked up mind.
And a couple weeks later, we are out of ideas, we are out of stuff to try to make fun of, and we are writing about Girl Scout cookies.
Right, because we're also out of food.
We also have some ideas that are so thought out of our consciousness. Like one day someone suggested a sketch about a werewolf fighting a unicorn. And it was not funny, it didn't really go anywhere, and Seth was like, oh, that's stupid.
No.
And then every day for the next month, someone pitched another werewolf with his unicorn sketch.
Every day.
For
Every
20
day,
weeks.
at least 1 to all.
Despite
of the
the
writers in
fact-
the room would write everything from a channel flip to a highly detailed 7-page sketch about that somehow vaguely really, like at one point, it was the unicorn versus werewolf super happy fun time action hour.
Now, despite the fact that maybe 30% of them after a while were like Shakespeare-level genius, Seth was like, I don't want to hear any more of these goddamn
Wait, I like that you make me dictatorial when it's a 4-way vote. If anything makes it on Robot Chicken, it's because 3 people said yes. 3 out of 4 had to say yes, because 2 to 2 it's vetoed.
Well, sometimes Seth was like, oh, I'm voting twice.
No, although in all reality, you have tried to barter your vote, and Mike, you've given Mike Fasolo a vote.
I always try to get
Wait, Mike, give me a microphone.
Like you're like a handful.
I
No one heard you.
always try to get a vote and they never give me one. Never. You should write into Seth a lot that I should get a vote on next season.
I don't read anything.
Get the vote!
I can't read.
Down the vote!
Who wants Mike Masolo to have a vote?
Brecken would be so happy that the people want a voice.
Since 3 out of 4 votes, let's say, okay, the sketch is in and anything less is not, either A, the most genius stuff that everybody loves is going in, or the lowest common denominator, oh my god, farts are funny. We get in the show. And that's why I was like, why does Robot Chicken always resort to kicking in the balls and farting?
Well, because every once in a while you read a blog where it's like, what's with all this heady BS on Robot Chicken? Where's the fart jokes and ball kicks that we love so much? You just try, I mean, we really just try and do what makes us laugh and hope that people like it. And if they don't, we just humbly apologize and hope you watch the next episode.
Question number 2.
Oh yeah, we didn't even get through it.
Good night, everybody.
If they're all like that, guys, we're not going to get out of here
We're
before
gonna get through this line. We're gonna get through this line if we work.
Alright, I love Robot Chicken a lot. So,
Thanks, man.
Alright.
You threw him.
Alright, so what
More
happens
of a
is that,
statement than a question, but...
alright, what happens is that throughout the last week, there were certain deaths. But some of these fans, I know they've probably seen the picture of this. 7 Dragon Balls, who would you revive? Michael Jackson or Billy Mays? I say Billy Mays. Good one!
Is Michael Jackson a Dragon Ball? What did you say?
What happened is that Michael Jackson passed away, saying those with the...
He what?
Michael Jackson, he owes me so much money!
I'm not saying the whole LA live thing for him, but like I said, I remember the picture that I saw on the internet. There were 7 Dragon Balls, and the phrase was this: who would you revive, Michael Jackson or Billy Mays? I say Billy Mays. You guys should do a skit for Billy Mays.
Maybe we will.
You guys have to.
I think Billy Mays would be selling the reviver on television. And we could use it for Michael Jackson.
We'll put that on the board for season 5.
Well, you know, we've been looking for a plot for Robot Chicken the movie, and I think...
If we put out a movie, would you guys go see it? We've been talking about it, trying to figure out what it'd be, and trying to figure out how to make it for no money, because Adult Swim doesn't have any money. But you know, we make the show for next to no money, so we figure we maybe could make a movie just a little bit longer. What's your question?
Actually, if I can jump in here for just a second, we want to limit it to 1 question a person, please. Sorry
Okay,
to be a party boomer.
They're hitting us with 1 question, we're just hitting with like 17
Who
answers.
said that? Who's talking?
It's Steeler from G.I. Joe. There's like 9 Joe fans in the audience who are like, I love that guy. I agree, but the rise of Cobra might not.
You guys mentioned Voltron earlier, and that made me remember that the reason why I fell in love with Robot Chicken was watching Voltron get served on a spaceship. And so I'm just kind of wondering, do you guys have like a favorite sketch or one that's just really special to you?
That's my favorite sketch, dude, honestly. The Tooth Fairy are like my favorite sketch. We've had a lot of cool ideas, and I thought they've all been really well executed. But I love the Voltron sketch. It's just like the purest, in my opinion, what our show is. And the Tooth Fairy is like the darkest. Your favorite sketch?
Well, I'll say darkest sketch, the Tooth Fairy, of course. But my favorite thing recently is this little teeny tiny channel flip where a bunch of cats are sitting around talking about the recent bells. Like, oh, bells are nice. And suddenly, a cat runs in with a suicide bomber, a mouse, starts screaming, everybody's screaming, explodes. I thought that was a very deep commentary about what's going on in the Middle East today. And I don't really see a lot of love for it in the blogs, but that's my favorite.
I'd say my favorite is one from this season. It's Le Rat de Con, the opera. Kevin Shernick.
That's Kevin. Kevin wrote that sketch.
My favorite sketch is the gummy bear.
But it's so bizarre because Michelle Trachtenberg did the voice of that gummy bear, and we cast her because she has an unbelievable horror movie scream. Like, no joke, 12 seconds, 15 seconds, never loses intensity. Like, it's amazing. So we wanted that scream, so we cast her in that thing. And then impossibly, that sketch has been co-opted.
Really taken off. I love this sketch just because it sort of encapsulates the show for me. It's something cute that meets with a hard, violent reality. And it's really sort of taken off on YouTube, where people are making their own mixes of
I've seen people like do choreographed Bollywood-style dances to remixes that they've made of their own interpretation of the gummy bear scream, which is so funny to us. We just think that's awesome.
It's art.
Make your own stuff.
My favorite skit has to be the giraffe and the quicksand.
I love that sketch too. That's another one. We've seen a bunch of kids online just make their own version of that. We just are so tickled. Who was that? Someone said
That was Dan Milano. Dan Milano, the creator of Greg the Bunny, was a new series coming to MTV, so look for that. Yes, hooray, anyone?
They'll cheer if you ask them to, Doug, but I don't think they know what you're talking about.
Yeah, trickle-down economics doesn't work, right?
How long it takes from the coming up with the idea and actually seeing it on TV, the whole process.
It's different for each episode. I mean, when we start writing, we write, like I said, 5 episodes at the same time, and then we'll start to overlap, like we'll clear those 5 and put them into pre-production, and then we'll continue writing through the beginning of physical production and starting to record and everything like that. So it can be several months between the time it's actually written to the time it's shot, and especially when it's on the air, because even after we've delivered them, they still delay, you know, as per whatever their programming schedule is. Not exciting business stuff. That's what I do. That's what Dad does at work all day.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey.
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 What's up? First of all, I wanted to, thank you guys for making a Legend of Zelda skit. That was just...
We should just go ahead and shout him out. A young boy named Ben Schwartz, who came to our show in the 3rd season.
Yeah, we get into the 3rd.
He wrote that sketch along with the homeless airline sketch. We love that Zelda sketch. We all thought that was very funny, that there's just sort of this implied understanding that when you go through all of this difficult journey and you rescue the princess, that maybe she's gonna give it up.
Otherwise, why would you play it?
By the way, I have the Ganondorf action figure. It's pretty cool.
The what?
I actually have the Ganondorf action figure. I bought it when I was like 8. When it
We
came
got
out.
the PVCs of those, yeah.
Well, my
The one
question
that we
is...
used on the show, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was a good choice.
My question is, in Family Guy, you did this really cool thing where you actually mentioned Robot Chicken. With...
That was not my idea. Yeah, isn't that fun?
Yeah, that was really good.
What's that McConnell? Was there a question about that specifically?
Yeah, are you actually planning on like getting back at Family Guy, even though you know?
We don't really like.
We did it in the open. The season we did a nod to
It
it.
was more to McFarlane than anything else. Like, in the season opener this year, we had me and Matt. We killed everybody in the shop, and we were like, oh no, how do we get the show? If we don't have a crew, we gotta get renewed. And so we go to like Joss Whedon and Ron Moore, and we ask them all for like, how do we get our show renewed? And Joss is mad at me, and he tries to kill me because he thinks I'm a werewolf. And then I tell Ron Moore that he could have put me on Battlestar, like I could be a Cylon. And he's like, fucking skin job. And then we go to Seth MacFarlane, and Seth MacFarlane is, clap his hands, cutaway to us being renewed.
I got a little dig in him where he's like, hey, everybody, look at Seth MacFarlane, the creator of American Dad. And he's like, whoa, creator Family Guy, please.
And then the cutaways are really silly. He's like, I haven't nobody's asked me that since I bought C-3PO, that leather jacket with Pepsi points. Just keep rambling now. So, we are not really in a competition with them.
Oh no, I'm just saying like just for fun. Just for
They actually have a bit coming up. It's sort of like Sliders, where the Family Guy family goes into all these different environments, and they wind up in Robot Chicken.
All right.
They're awesome. Like we're all friends, so they wind up throwing nods to us, and we throw nods to them. But, yeah.
All right, thanks, man.
Right on.
I just want to
All right,
say
guys, we got a half hour left, so this is how we're spending it. Unless you guys have any different ideas. What is it? It doesn't even have a microphone. It sounds like. Let's get your questions.
I just want to say, what's up, Seth Green?
What's up?
And welcome to Anime Expo. I'm a little nervous because you're the first celebrity I've ever met in my life. So
Sweet. You are not the first like heavy metal goth dude.
And my question is, did you ever think that in your careers you'd end up being able to play with toys again, but this time for a living?
I mean, I dreamed. No, we always joke that like it's so ridiculous that this turned into a job.
Did you guys ever make movies with action figures growing up?
I never really shot stop motion myself, but I had tons of toys and I took photos and stuff. And then, you know, me and Brecken and Ryan and Adam Talbot, who draws the Stupid Monkeys, we always used to shoot stuff on our video camera, pre-internet, pre-YouTube, you know? So we were always kind of making our own stuff, and then this was just a weird extension of that. All these guys had already been doing this kind of thing with the magazine, and Chris is making films, and Kevin's been professionally performing and writing. So it's like we all just got together, and no one's really tainted by bitterness of the industry, or we're all making something that makes us laugh, and we were shocked and so excited that other people like it.
I got my ass kicked for bringing Star Wars toys on the bus when I was a kid. They called me Mr. Star Wars. That was really original.
They were so creative.
It was incredibly creative.
Hey, Mr. Star Wars.
So this is like revenge.
I can actually identify the individual parts and pieces of the G.I. Joe figures from 1982 to 1989.
You know,
This is the only room where that gets applause, by the way.
I know. You know, sometimes we are working so hard over there, and like any job, you're like, oh my God, and then you have to stop and think, look at what we're doing. And then someone said to me, what's it like? And I said, it's kind of like drowning in your favorite sugar cereal. You know, I'm drowning, but look at the colors of the marshmallows. It's delightful.
Thanks, guys. You guys are awesome.
Okay. I'm gonna make this quick. My favorite skit is the Captain Planet skit. That's pretty much it.
That was you. I think you and I were like the bold champions for that too.
I had this vision of Ted Turner smearing in that movie.
Did anybody see what was that David Lynch movie? Wild at Heart. Wild at Heart. Is it
Laura Dern and Nick Cage.
No, who's the mom?
Diane Ladd.
Diane Ladd is like in the mirror rubbing all over her face, having like total freak out. And Tom and I were like, wouldn't it be hilarious if Turner, because he pioneered that project. He created Captain Planet as like incentive to clean up the planet, because he's, you know, a multi-billionaire, multinational corporation. So we just love the idea of him in a bathroom being like, ecological disasters chaps my ass, Captain Planet. He was just smearing that makeup on his face like Captain.
That sketch had one up until that point one of the greatest shots we ever pulled together, where he was coming down on that zip line. There were like 4 or 5 different elements that had to fit together perfectly. We were very proud to make Ted Turner crash through a plate glass.
And my foot in your balls!
All right. My question is, it's been
We always start
irritating.
answering the question before they ask it.
it's been irritating me for so many years. Apparently, the first season was like censored, and then the following seasons were completely uncensored. Where in the future, will there be a reissue of season 1 uncensored?
You know, maybe. I mean, it's because there was some stuff that we wound up not even being able to air or put on DVD after a while, and we would love to fight for that content, and maybe that would be a way to reissue the first season as sort of an uncensored with additional content that no one ever saw before. It's tough to make people buy something they've already bought, though. You know.
Ava Jolie.
So I guess the question I'll do is, was there any skit that ended up in Robot Chicken that you guys all disagreed on at first? And then somehow ended up
like, were there ones that people got convinced over time?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you there's one that no one has been convinced of ever. It's Tom's and my favorite, the spinning newspaper sketch. This was all based around a conversation because Mike Fasolo doesn't like pizza. And we were like, pizza? You don't like pizza? How does that even work? And
Who thinks Mike Fasolo should no longer have a vote?
Tom, do you want to explain the spinning newspaper sketch?
So, the sketch is real simple. It was just a bunch of friends sitting around and they discover that a guy, we call him Mike, doesn't like pizza. And we cut to a spinning newspaper that says, "World's only pizza hater found." And from then, it turns into a series of spinning newspapers as this sort of escalates.
As the story unfolds amongst the public. World's only pizza hater, like, chased down by mob. World's only pizza hater, hanged and burned. Effigy now realized to just be confused homeless person. America turns its attention to most recent missing blonde girl. And then there's a byline that says,
You're beginning to see why this never made it to air.
There was and then there was some aspect of it that was pizza hater zombie services. But the whole thing was, this sketch is less than 25 seconds long, and McKay cut the whole thing together with just cut out pictures of Mike leaning in. And then some random birthday, like, you really hate pizza? And then out of nowhere, someone else popped up like, and it just, the visual of it, the aesthetic of it was funny, it was super cheap, and Tom and I thought it should be in the show. And everyone has fought us, and it's never even been on a DVD.
To also answer your question, yes, sometimes there are sketches that are dead on pitch. Like someone once said, what if it's the show Alias, but instead of a hot chick, it's a killer whale? And we would call it Whalias. And everyone's like, I really don't think so. But then Seth is like, wait, it would sound just like this.
No, I said you gotta dress her up in the dress. And dude, because every time you watch Alias, Jennifer Garner shows up in some room, and everyone in the room is like she's. I think Jennifer Garner's pretty, but she's not stopping an entire room full of, desperate villains.
But it's her voice that sold it.
Well, so that was the thing. We had the whale jump into the No Doubt music, and it's got the earrings on, and we watch everybody's eyes bug out, and then the guy leans over to her and he's like, Sydney, the information that you need is in the sink on the top floor. And she just goes,
So that sketch went from a total no to a, oh my god, that's awesome.
And then we knew we were going to get the Free Willy moment at the end of it. It's like, sometimes it just comes together. Thank you.
Hey, I know you guys got a lot of guest voice actors and you come in a lot. Have you got one of them to actually do a line or a skit that they did not want to do?
I mean, we've never talked anybody into doing something, and we haven't had anybody change their mind after the fact, if that's what you mean. Yeah, everybody who comes in is super game. Like, we had the whole group of kids from Saved by the Bell come in, and they were all super fun and really sharp as hell, and all did multiple sketches besides that sketch. And we really don't get a lot of resistant performers.
We pay the absolute minimum. You really have to want to be there. Nobody's coming in because it's just another gig that they gotta grind out.
We got Mark Hamill to do the Joker voice.
There's a sketch, I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, but it's the Arkham Redemption.
Yeah, right. But he was just concerned that we had respect for the Joker.
And we were like,
of course, we love the Joker.
Yeah. He was like, I don't know about the Joker shitting his guts out.
But then we were like, but he shits on Batman. He was like, oh yeah.
So we got Jean-Claude Van Damme to do Dracula from Castlevania.
So I'll just tease this sketch. That hasn't aired yet, has it? No. So we have a sketch coming up that is a throwback action movie based on Gone with the Wind, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Cynthia Rothrock.
What's it called?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a Van Damme. So we got Van Damme in, and we're like, what else do we cast him in? Because we get two other characters we play with. Oh, that's going to be Dracula from Castlevania. And his performance is so magical.
So magical, didn't we grant, but didn't he insist that we call it the episode Van Damme's Robot Chicken?
He didn't insist, it was more a request that we dedicate the episode to him. Although I had a chat with his kid for like 10 minutes, and his 15-year-old is super cool.
Isn't the only time I can remember someone saying, oh please, I really can't say that, can we change it, was Stan Lee couldn't say fart.
Yes, I mean, Stan had some really basic concerns, but then he was so game to be playing with Pam Anderson doll in the sketch. He was playing with a big boob doll, and he was like, super boobies. And he didn't want to say it apart. Like, his concerns were so specific. But I have to. It's not anybody's question, but we all got to meet Stan Lee. And so.
I actually got to hug him, and then he asked me for $20, which is true, but I don't understand what's going on.
Thanks, man.
First.
Women represented.
My question is actually more for Chris than for the rest of you.
Hey, everybody deserves a chance to shine.
Well, it's more of an editing to director kind of question. I was wondering, how's it like going from like a 15-minute total running time to getting to direct more instead of just trying to shave everything down to be straight to the point and funny, to being like, I can do that, I can change this.
It should be said, though, that Chris, as an editor, was heavily influential in the tone and shape of the show, just because of his advice and his sense of humor. I only want to put that in there just because it's why we...
I mean, in order to produce this show, I mean, we produced this show on a Coraline's lunch budget, per episode. So we have to think about it in terms of, from an editing perspective, right out of the gate, and trying to figure out a way to. We do about 100 shots, 120 shots an episode. So I think for one of our episodes, Coraline gets off about 2 shots. So we have to think about it. You have to think about it in terms of from an editing perspective, like in everything you do.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thanks for coming. Love all you guys' work. Awesome job.
I can't read your shirt. I smile because I have no idea what's going on. I often do the same. Only at a distance.
I was just wondering, if you were considering making a Robot Chicken movie, why haven't you made it yet?
Well, there's several reasons. Honestly. No, relax. First of all, it takes a long time and a lot of work to put a movie together. Just in all reality, actually getting something from a concept to putting it on the screen is anywhere from 2 to 3 years. It just takes a while. It's also a product of money. Like, who's going to pay for it? It'd probably be Adult Swim, and then it's negotiated with them a very specific thing. This is all the boring business stuff that I do all day that no one wants to hear about. The long and short of it is, we've been busy doing other stuff and haven't really considered how a movie would work. But over the last year or so, we've talked sort of vaguely about it. And it's something that we've thought about, but to make something long form that actually sustains your attention is different. But we experimented with both Star Wars specials. And if you watch the, we experimented with something that long as one with Carrie especially with the second one, where on the DVD, because of the 15 extra minutes, it's an uninterrupted 35-minute program. So you see what it was meant to look like start to finish. And that gave us an idea of, okay, well that's a roadmap. We could make something that's a little longer. And I know they already announced that we're going to do a third Star Wars, but what we with that Star Wars is to do it longer, maybe somewhere between 44 and 75 minutes. We're going to see how that goes.
And really, also, as far as the movie goes, we're still waiting for you guys' letter writing campaign to kick in. So
yeah, seriously, if you want to write William Street and saying, why isn't there a Robot Chicken movie? Go for it.
What's the address?
I think it's William Street.
I'll do it.
I appreciate your enthusiasm. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Indy! Keep your eyes closed, Indy!
Seth Green. Hi, everyone. Seth Green. You work with Seth MacFarlane, right?
Seth MacFarlane?
Yes.
Yeah, we work together, actually.
Okay.
He makes, Seth MacFarlane is the creator of Family Guy, who plays... I feel exactly the same way.
Dr. Ball!
Can you do a favorite line from Family Guy?
What's your favorite line?
I like all of them.
Can you say that? Sounds like you've been looking.
I had a really awesome costume I was going to wear to the Anime Expo, but I couldn't get it because it was in the closet where that evil monkey lives.
So that happened.
Robot Chicken has had some great irreverent Jewish humor, much like Family Guy. And everything from...
Alex Borstein told me, Alex Borstein, who plays Lois on Family Guy and wrote for the show for the first 3 seasons, she told me that if you have any Jewish people in your writer's room, you will get a ton of Hitler jokes. All I can say is it's true. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to jump on your question.
No. It's been about 2 years since we've seen anything. I mean, we had Hilary Duff and Diary of Anne Frank and...
Hilary Duff stars in the Diary of Anne Frank. It's a natural fit, that's why we do it. It's a musical, it's an uplifting piece about survival. Through a young girl's eyes, you're better than Hilary Duff.
It's also Rosh Hashanah, Never Say Goy. Are there any other kosher sacred cows that we're going to see slaughtered in the near future?
I mean, we're all over the place, man. We really don't discriminate.
I pitched an idea that was shot down, so I'm going to just do it on my own someday, where it's Anne Frank is discovered and she's killed by the Nazis, but then the Jewish elders resurrect her to fight the war for her. She becomes Anne Frankenstein. It's going to be directed to you.
Hello. First I gotta say, for the second Robot Chicken, best line ever, I couldn't stop laughing, was when the Emperor was at the baggage claim and he just said, "Fuck you, Strikey Bag."
We made crew shirts for the crew of our show that just has the logo on the back says, "Fuck you, Strikey Bag."
Can I just say that I love you guys?
You said it! You said it!
I have a really easy question, and it's, can I please get a picture with you guys?
Oh man! See, now here's the rough part. If I say yes, then everyone with cameras, and I think there's probably a couple hundred people that
Well, I have a backup question.
A backup question. Oh, good.
That doesn't
Let's hear it. We're going to be at this skate party in San Diego and then again all across the country. And I have to emphasize, it's free to get in, so, you know, we'll be on skates and that's a great photo op.
Also, Seth loves it if you try to get between him and his car to take pictures. Like if all of you want to try that way too.
Guys, everybody knows I travel exclusively by jetpack. It's a luxury that I've worked very hard for. What was your question, though?
The question was, since you guys, work so hard on the show and like maybe becomes your life, how do you guys stay so incredibly sexy?
We probably should be Mike. Mike, is it you? Mike, do you want to talk about how? I mean, our sexy regimen. Do you want to talk about it? I mean, obviously moisturizer. So.
It's really tough to really stay this sexy. It involves a lot of junk food, a lot of sitting around, very little exercise, and
never getting in the sun.
Yeah.
Everything we do after watching Twilight.
Wait. Let me try. After watching Vampire Hunter D. You gotta know your vampire audience, huh? Blood. All right, next person. Who's it? Rocketeer? I love the Rocketeer. I've got that bus stop poster. But that wasn't a question. You got a question.
So,
you in the gym in the hologram shirt must have a question.
So at one point, you did a what if there was a Buffy season 8. So it kind of was about evil Cabbage Patch dolls, and now that there actually is a Buffy season 8, are you thinking of revisiting that? And would you ever consider a Buffy Sailor Moon crossover sketch?
Let me break your hearts all at the same time. So part of the way that the show works, part of the way that we can show all this cool stuff is it has to make some kind of sense. You have to find a way that those two worlds could collide. And that's the biggest thing. Now I recognize I know. Time travel, mysticism, all kinds of dark travel. There's a bunch of different ways, but very few.
Magical girls fighting equal.
Buffy the Twilight Zone.
Or everyone versus Edward Cullen. Get the True Blood people in there too.
I'll Twitter out the vampires. We'll try. What's up, Mario? What's up? It's me, Mario.
For everybody on the robot chicken thing. I've seen every single episode and everything, the Star Wars skits and the Christmas specials. What happened to the bloopers guy?
Yeah! The season actually, we had it's all like
stuff in every single episode.
That's true. Yeah, he finally ate it like Kenny. I mean, it finally just happened. Well, the character's whole, I don't know if you guys know this, but the character's whole concept is at the end of every episode that he appears in, he finds a new and exciting way to kill himself.
You guys ran out of ideas?
He never did a shotgun. That was you know what? It really is topic specific because you have to write all the bloopers and figure out what it is that each of these things are, and then it's a specific parody of whatever the property is. It became really complicated, and I think after we did the most tragic home videos one, we were like, maybe this doesn't work as well.
Well, the problem for the blooper host and also Unsolved Mysteries, or that guy is
Unsolved Case
whatever. Is that every time we pitch one, we always ask ourselves, is this better than we've already done? Because we don't want to take a step down, and usually the stuff we pitch, none of our stuff is really that funny. So